I'm Reed Bennett.
I'm Samira Perryman.
I'm Nicholas McCrae, and this is our project on formalism.
Formalism, as we know it, arose around the mid-1950s and is known for its literal interpretation of literature. This excludes all outside info such as author or time period. The process of close reading in formalism is a safeguard against projection, which is a critical error that many people make. Formalism also has many criticisms, such as the assumption that there is only one definite and correct meaning of literature. It assumes you have already had an extensive knowledge of literary devices, and it also establishes a very narrow canon as far as what literature is.
A symbol is a literary device in which an item or person in the story represents somebody. For example, the music in the short story represents Connie's connection to others of her age. And this is when Arnold Friend uses the music to try and lure Connie into his car. Connie's house represents her innocence, as when she encounters Arnold, she's very careful and does not want to leave her house, which means that she does not want to give up her innocence. And when Arnold Friend drives over to Connie's house, he tries to take her away from that house, thus getting rid of her innocence. Arnold Friend's car represents the loss of innocence and unfamiliarity, as if Connie goes into Arnold's car, not only does she lose her innocence as she's taken away from everything that is familiar, but she's also possibly killed as well. Connie's mother represents Connie's future self, and she serves a purpose to warn Connie about the dangers of her beauty. And Connie's sister June represents everything that Connie is not. June is very plain and is always being praised by Connie's mother, while Connie is very outgoing and always gets scolded by her mother. June's name is also very generic like the month, while Connie's name was a very popular name at the time.
Narrative ambiguity basically means that the information that's provided is very unclear and can have multiple meanings. An example of this would be the relationship between Connie and Arnold, because we don't really see the intentions of Arnold until later in the conversation. Narrative ambiguity can affect the tone of the story because it can have a more connotative or negative feeling behind it. Also, it can affect the reader's feelings throughout the story because it influences the emotional connection they have with each character. Lastly, an ambiguous ending can be very unsatisfying for the reader because it doesn't end how we would expect it to. An example of this would be the ending of the story. It is very confusing and unclear of what's going to happen. At the end of the story, we don't truly understand